to follow that inner voice where you just know in your heart of hearts, but you're not really sure why. And yeah, it's just letting us know that that voice is there. It's loudly whispering to you. It's starting to shout, and it wants you to heed its advice. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Jackie, the creator and illustrator of Midnight City Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I have a brand new reading for us. This is going to be for the week of January 15th through the 21st. And yes, it's Mercury retrograde, so I'm just going to keep this video very short, and I try not to feed into the panic and the lore and everything surrounding Mercury retrograde, because it's honestly, I enjoy kind of looking back and just refreshing and reconciling and the regrouping that happens during that time. But I also am aware that there's usually some type of technical difficulties. So like I said, we'll keep it short and sweet for this week ahead. And yeah, let's get our candle lit, and we will do a quick little grounding exercise before we dive into the reading today. So if you'd like to take a deep breath with me, we can do that right now. And if you work with any guides and you want to call them in, you may do so. Okay, and may this reading be for the highest and best good of all concerned. And before we dive into it, I just wanted to note that in addition to doing these weekly City of Dreams readings on YouTube, I also write a blog post that kind of dives deeper and gets a little bit more meatier and in-depth into the cards that we've pulled. And it includes some journal prompts and just other revelations that I've had about the reading. So you can check those out at my website. It's at midnightcitytarot.com, and that's going to be in the stories section. So instead of a Patreon, that's my little blog, personal blog. So I pour a lot of love and a lot of care into all of the blogs and stories that go into that section. So it's actually accessible if you guys have the Midnight City Tarot Stories Metro card, which is right here. So this came with the Kickstarter decks, and if not, you can purchase one on my website, midnightcitytarot.com, and on the back it has a QR code and a little passcode so that you can get started and check those out. And in addition to going over the blog posts, the City of Dreams readings, I also have interviews with some really special city witches, past, present, and future, and that's going to be growing. I have a lot of interview questions out right now that we're going to be getting back, and I'll be posting those throughout the rest of the year, the upcoming months. And I also have this really beautiful story that's emerging that chronicles the Fool's journey through the major arcana. So it begins with the card the Fool, of course, card 0, and then we're working our way all the way to card 21, the World. So those stories are being added little by little, and I love how it's turning out. So I would love to see what you guys think of that as well. And yeah, I think that's it for updates. So we will use the Midnight City Tarot deck. This is my deck, available at midnightcitytarot.com. We're going to be using the City of Dreams reading. That spread is a 5-question spread. We start with the general message, overarching theme, and then we uncover what's holding us back. We look at supporting energies and who or what can we call upon for support specifically. And then we ask for underlying and hidden themes to be uncovered. And lastly, we wrap that up with our next steps for the week ahead. And I've found it to be super helpful to have some kind of guidance and guideposts to help me work through the weeks. And the whole point of this spread is really to support us as we work towards creating our dreams and creating the life that we want to see, and bringing in the qualities that we want to see more of in our lives and in the community and the world at large. So hopefully you find this really supportive and helpful as well. And yeah, I'm going to do some shuffling, and I don't know if you can see, but I hurt my thumb when I was packing orders this week, so I'm shuffling just this way today. I can't really do my normal shuffle, so it might take me a little bit, but we'll get through this. And yeah, let's see what the cards have to say for us today. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go over card by card what we've got, and then we'll see like what general messages we can pull from this. And already I can tell you we have 2 major arcana cards, so we kind of have some guideposts to this reading, and we have 1 court card, which is interesting because I feel like that's usually talking about us or someone in our lives. So to get started, we have our general message. This is the Knight of Wands, and this is a character that is on a skateboard zooming past the Brooklyn Museum. They have their wand in hand pointing the way, and they are just tearing through Brooklyn. Like they're on a mission, they're going somewhere, and they're going somewhere very fast. So this is a very passionate person. They're a knight, so they're out on a quest, they're out on an adventure or activity, and they're moving towards creating something, like making something happen in this world, but they're out there, they're getting it. So yeah, this is really interesting that this came up. This is actually my card of the month this month, so it's familiar to see it again here. So that's kind of our general theme. We are out, we're making stuff happen, we're on a mission to complete a task, and we're pointed in the right direction and we're going. So very cool. Yeah, we have a couple wands here. Actually, we have 2 wands cards, and that's the reason why my nails are painted pink right now is because I've been pulling so many wands. Last week we had the 10 of Wands, and just in my own personal spreads, they're coming up a lot, and I always like to do a little glamour magic to let Spirit and like Midnight City Tarot know I'm listening, like I'm heeding the messages. So yeah, wands are still coming up. This is very interesting. So for our what is holding us back, we have the 7 of Wands, and this is someone that is pushing their way through, like carving their path out into the world. They are walking down the sidewalk in Manhattan, and if you've ever been to the city when it's about to rain, you'll totally recognize or be familiar with the situation. It's like the second the clouds open up and there's like 1 drop of rain, all of a sudden there's this like whooshing sound, and everyone on the sidewalk like pulls out their umbrella and like expands it, and then there's kind of this like weird like tension and like kind of like not even battle, but just like this weird tension of whose umbrella is gonna, you know, be on top or on bottom, and like is there room for everyone on the sidewalk. So it really, like this scene really came to me when I think of the 7 of Wands like archetype. It really is like carving out your way and being like defensive in your walking and like movement down the sidewalk and on your path forward. So what is holding us back is just that feeling of just like being really defensive and having to push through to get to where we want to go. It's really letting us know it's okay to have that confidence and that fire to kind of be pushy and be defensive in order to get to where we want to be, and, you know, not feel like we're being like pushed out of the way or like too tentative or unsure. So very interesting. And then who or what can we call upon for support? This is a very unlikely friend, I feel like at first glance, but the more I'm thinking of it, the more it's actually pretty cool. So we can call upon the Death archetype for support this week. It's letting go of things around us that just need to be shed and let go of. Like this tree has lost all of its leaves. You know, the last one is just like falling off and down into this pile for winter. Those leaves aren't needed anymore, so it's letting them go. And it's really speaking to cycles. Like just because it is bare right now doesn't mean that in the spring, like of course it's going to bloom again and there'll be leaves and flowers and all of those beautiful things. The leaves that it is releasing right now fall to the bottom and they're composted. They're actually turned back into nutrients and soil to help the ecosystem continue to grow and produce more fruitful trees in the future. If this tree just hung onto its leaves forever, like it would never really grow. It wouldn't grow at all. So that is a good message for us to remember. It's okay to let go of what's no longer serving us and to move forward, like just cleanly, and, you know, to move forward with less baggage, and just like, even if it means getting rid of things that used to seem very important to us, it's okay. It can be difficult, and of course, this is a really important thing to know. It's good to call on the support of others if you are having a hard time with letting go, or, you know, anything that's going on right now. And yeah, and then just to remember that your old baggage, your old things, your old layers that are no longer serving, if you let them go, they'll be composted and it will make room for new. Like that's such an important message with the Death card. It's like the things that you release go away, you create this void, this open space where new things will grow. And very, very, very tiny in this card, there's a brand new little bit of growth, like a brand new tree is sprouting and a new seed is germinating. So even when it looks like really the end, it's not. There's more. There's definitely more to the story. So very cool, very interesting. And then our underlying hidden themes, we got this card recently exactly in this place, the High Priestess reversed. This speaks to not trusting our intuition or feeling unsure about following our inner truths and our inner wisdom. So this is a really good reminder that you do have an intuition, like a little voice inside of you. Your guides are with you and they're whispering and they're letting you know what is the right thing to do, what is going to help you move you forward through this world. And they're guiding you, they're supporting you. It's really to benefit you. And when you get those little impulses, it's asking, like, do you listen to them or do you ignore them? If this card were right side up, we wouldn't be having that question so much. We would know, like, yes, we are definitely getting the messages clearly and then we're following through on them. And that's not always easy, especially when there are outside voices and a lot of pushiness and just other things going on. It's easy to get lost and get separated from yourself and your inner truth. So this is just a very good reminder that you have guides, you have inner wisdom, and you have that power within yourself, and it's important to call on it. And it can be hard. So in the beginning, if you listen to like the little intuitive messages and you follow through on the smaller and easier ones, I've found, this is part of my practice, then it's easier to discern and follow through when it is really important, when it is bigger messages and bigger things that might be harder to go against the grain, or, you know, to follow that inner voice where you just know in your heart of hearts, but you're not really sure why. And yeah, it's just letting us know that that voice is there. It's loudly whispering to you. It's starting to shout and it wants you to heed its advice. So yeah, this is the High Priestess, and actually I just finished writing this Midnight City Tarot Stories blog post about the High Priestess too, so you can head over there to check that out. So also interesting that they came up today in the reading. And then for our next steps, we have the Eight of Swords reversed. This was our card for the year ahead spread. If you guys want to check out my mini spread that I did for us for the year 2022. And this card speaks to being confined and feeling trapped in a situation, feeling like there's no other way, like they're really stuck. They are on the subway platform, they have to get to their job, they have to pay their bills, it's freezing outside, there's rain, it's not a good situation, they're not enjoying, you know, being here. They really feel stuck and constrained in here between all these swords and, you know, layers and layers of people kind of blocking their way. But the interesting thing with this card is that it is in the sword suit, so this really deals with our mental, like, thinking capabilities and our intellect. So it's letting us know that we have the power in our mindset to look at things in a different way and to become, you know, not trapped, to become free and to really free ourselves from the situation, especially when it's reversed. It's letting us know we're moving past that. We're starting to see, instead of just a wall of swords, we're starting to see, you know, the gaps in between where we can step, you know, between them and move out of the situation. We can leave the subway station, we can walk back up the stairs, we can totally change our whole lives. And this card is really, like, it's very profound for me. This was definitely more than one of the days in my life that I, you know, pulled this from, just feeling like there was no other way and I had to continue doing this thing that wasn't working. But it's not the case. There are other options for us. So it's really being creative with your thinking and thinking outside of the box, and just like getting changes of scenery also really helps if you can. If you can go for a walk, or, you know, walk a different way than you normally do, and just change up your routine a little bit, because I find that really helps our brain start to think in different ways when you're not seeing exactly the same thing. You're not in that repetition, you know, you're freeing up more ideas to come through. So this is good. It's letting us know we've got, you know, other options, other solutions. So if you've been feeling feeling stuck or trapped in a situation, know that there are other ways to live, other ways to do things. And yeah, so that's what we've got for the week of January 15th, which is super interesting. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say, what you thought of this reading. Please let me know in the comments below. And if you have any questions that you'd like to see answered, like specific questions about anything that you're, working on or working towards, you can let me know in the comments and I will pull a card for you and do a little mini reading in one of the upcoming City of Dreams readings. And yeah, thank you guys so much for checking this out. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And if you have friends who you think would be interested in this too, that'd be awesome if you could share it with them as well. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next week.